The world is filled with fluffy, ethereal podcasts about spiritual growth, transformation, and inspiration. Yeah, this isn't one of them. No, Find Your Flow is about what happens when life stops working. So let's get into it. No filters, no scripts, no curated sound bites, no fluff whatsoever, just flow. Hello, Chris Rice. Welcome to
Hello.
Find Your Flow. Thanks for being here with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I have been very much looking forward to this episode,
Mhm.
very much looking forward to meeting you and finding out how ChillPod came to be. How is this beautiful, gorgeous thing out in the world? I cannot wait to hear about it. To get us started, I just want to ask you a couple of questions, which let's start it off with. What does flow mean to you?
I think flow at the basis of it just means ease to me. So when I'm in flow, I'm a fairly spiritual person. So like I feel like I'm being guided and I'm kind of surrendering what I envision for the situation. And I'm like just I'm moving my hands because it feels like a river to me. Like it feels like I'm just being moved ahead at a pace that is meant to be versus me trying to make that happen.
You speak my language, and
Oh,
if
good.
you can be as spiritual as you want to be here, it's all good. Um, can you tell me about a time where you felt like you weren't in flow, that your life sort of felt challenged?
I can think of many, but I think the main one to me was I have had a couple other entrepreneurial ventures. I always joke that I think it's just like in my blood to want to create something, and
You're a
so
serial entrepreneur.
I really am. It's like it's in my bloodline from my mom, and it's there, so I can't. There was no denying it anymore. But when I think struggling to get in flow, but was not quite there. I had another business called Mindful Beginnings, and my goal with that was to bring mindfulness practices to kids, like specifically
Mm,
in schools, to help give them the tools that they might need to manage stress and all of the things. And at the same time, I had this nagging awareness of what chill pod would be. So I was trying to pour into this mindfulness and it really wasn't going anywhere. It was a struggle. And at the same time I kept getting all these little signs that like you should go this way. And so it really was like I had to really surrender my thoughts of what life should look like and be like, okay, I'm going to go all in on this kind of wild and crazy idea, even though I'm really not sure like where that's going to go. So I think there were a lot of, family pieces that I was like, is this the right thing for my family? Is
mm,
this, the right thing for me? Am I going to go all in on this? I don't know. And so, yeah, when I was out of flow, it felt very hard and disjointed because it was like
mhm.
a lot of divided attention, a lot of different places, and nothing was really moving. And that's always kind of a sign to me that it's not where I'm meant to be at that moment.
Yeah, the kickback.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, ooh, that
Mhm.
kickback. Now, when you made the decision, which I know it's a series of decisions, being
Yeah.
an entrepreneur myself, um, to surrender into that, how scared were you?
I was scared. I was really nervous. I think um I think a lot of me felt there was like a deep knowing that it was right. And on the surface, it was like, but what's everyone gonna think? Like, this doesn't really like, I've never done anything like this. I've never made a product. I have no experience in so much of this. So I think that's where the fear came from was I know I have an idea and I'm not bad at coming up with ideas, but can I really bring this to life in the way that it needs and I want it
Sure.
to be? That's where I would feel more fearful.
I think about all of the many times that we wake up, and by we, I mean every single person on this planet at some
Mhm.
point in time in their life sort of wakes up and they're just sort of like, oh my God, how in the hell did I get here?
Yeah.
And how do I get out of it? And does this mean I blow up my entire life?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's a genuine fear.
Yeah.
and it stops a lot of people from moving
Yes.
forward. So how did
Mhm.
you have those conversations? I love that you said, like, "What are people gonna think about me?" I
Mhm.
it that's a I call that, like, the Facebook complex. What are these people that have known you in a certain way?
Yeah.
How do they transition? And if they don't, how do you?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think it like in so many cases, a lot of it was just the perceived fear was much worse
Yeah.
than the real fear, right? So, in reality, that didn't look like people confronting me and being like, "What are you doing? You have no right to be doing that." It was not that. Like, people are actually very kind and generous. I can certainly be my own worst enemy of, like,
Mm.
predicting all of these things that can and would go wrong, that don't really even matter. Like,
I
I
mean,
should
right?
have focused on things that were, like, giant that could go wrong. I don't worry about those. Those I'm
Not
like,
like Michelle from 7th grade. Like, what is she going to think? You know what
"Totally.
I mean? Like, these are stupid things that we take our fear and project it onto other people, and
100%."
somehow it carries weight.
It does. It totally does. I think though, like once I untied that tether of like, okay, that's not actually going to go somewhere. My vision was lovely with that. My thought idea was good, but like in execution, my mindfulness program was just, it wasn't going to happen. And so when I freed myself of all of the energy that it took to try and make that
Mm,
happen, then it really was amazing how quickly things took off with the one that was meant to. So then
right.
that quickly gave me like the confidence to know this like every day I'm seeing these tiny signs that it's going in the right direction, and the momentum that that took quickly was able to really help kind of like minimize those fears more just
Mhm.
because I was seeing how things were working out despite like reasons why they never should.
Right? All those
Yeah.
little confirmations and validations,
Mhm.
those winks from the universe.
Exactly.
Yes, I
Yes.
completely agree that
100%.
if we can just eye on the prize and then
Yeah.
take notice of all of these different confirmations that come through, oh my god, it's so much easier.
So
And
true.
that kudos to you that you didn't think, "Well, shit, the mindfulness program is a colossal failure, so that must mean everything I create's going to be a
Yes.
fail." Right?
Yeah.
I mean, because there's that trap too, that we could
For
get stuck
sure.
in that kind of sludge,
For sure. No, or being like, "Okay, well, are people gonna take me seriously when I have started, like, 3 other kind of half
right?
things that never really took
Right?
off?" You know,
Do
that
they
kind
think
of
I'm a
thing?
flake? Am I not real? Like, yeah, all
Right,
of that. Mhm.
exactly. Exactly. When in reality, like, usually nobody's first thing ever is the thing, right? Like, you have
Like,
to have
ever.
like, ever. I was trying to think of, like, was Spanx even her first thing? I don't even think for her.
No! I was just talking with, my business coach, actually, and she was talking about the woman from Spanx
Yeah.
and how she spent literally 2 years selling the
Mhm.
idea of Spanx
Yeah.
with one prototype that she
Yep.
sewed together in her own house,
Yep.
and that was it. She didn't
Yeah.
create another one for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes time.
It
It
takes time.
does,
It
and it
does.
takes time for you to find your groove in everything.
Totally, totally, to find how you want to bring that to life. Like, that doesn't just I'm always one to wanna see, like, "Oh, here's your path, and here's how it will go," and it's like, that's just not reality,
Nah,
you're
I
gonna
think that's
see those
bullshit right there. Sorry,
definitely
Chris. I
never
didn't
happens that way.
No! It's not even scripted in a movie that easily.
Exactly.
All right, so cheesy joke here, corny leadway. When did you take the plunge into can't be the first time you heard that. But when did you? I mean,
Yeah,
listen, so I come from a swimming background. I
nice.
come from, having swum competitively, like, my entire life,
Mhm.
and I remember swimming in brutally cold waters,
Yeah,
and there are just so many comparisons that we could make here. Like, you dipped your
totally.
toe into a holistic wellness with the mindful living, and
Mhm,
then you jumped right in and took the plunge here
mhm,
with Chill Pod. So, if I can ask you, like, how long ago was all of this? When did all
yeah.
of this come together for you?
So the chill pod itself, it started to come together about 2.5 years ago. So at that point, it had been a very interesting journey. I had a corporate career that I was doing. I was in marketing and events, and I was trying to do everything as like a side hustle because my whole idea was
Mhm.
like, I can work super hard. That's not an issue. And I can just go as hard as possible and I'll be able to like have two things going and then I'll move on to the other.
Oh, yeah.
And in the meantime, I'll also like raise small kids. Totally realistic.
Listen, you're such a superhero.
I know. No, it's delusional is what it
In
is.
complete denial, but,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, yeah, I highly don't recommend that. And so,
It's called burnout,
um,
quickly.
yes. So I was like, I was on the path to burnout. I have two daughters, and the older one of which had a lot of mental health struggles when she was little. And
Mhm.
so that was about 10 years ago now. And that was the first like big shift in my life where I went from just kind of like moving ahead at my own insane pace to be like, actually, I'm running away from stuff. And I am seeing
Mm.
that played out with her. So I'm seeing her anxiety and her overwhelm in this tiny little body. And for the first time, I'm able to recognize that in myself too. And so what that looked like was me finding ways to support her and realizing, okay, well, what can I do for myself then? And so
Mhm.
I started building up different practices. I did nothing spiritually, like meditation. I like would take walks and like basic movement and stuff. But like I went into, okay, what can I do to, at the core of it, like help my nervous system be more regulated? And so I went into meditation. I started doing yoga and different kinds of movement and things like that. And it really got to a point where, great, I've found these things and it's basically another full-time job to regulate my nervous system.
You're damn right it is.
It is.
Yeah, I
It
mean, you really
is.
we're in an onslaught of
Yes.
so much input and trigger. There
Yep.
is no silence in the world anymore, not even when we're sleeping.
No.
So, yes, I
No,
completely agree with
exactly.
you.
And so it was like, it was encouraging to know that I had found these things, and it was completely discouraging to know that it was not even doable. So I knew how I could
Yeah.
feel better, but I didn't know how to actually make that happen on a normal basis. And so that was the point about 3 years ago, that one of my friends said, well, have you tried cold plunging though? And I
Mm.
immediately was like, no, I don't want to do it. And which is kind of weird too, because I am definitely one to be like, you name it, I'll try it. Like if it's out there and that's not even out there, I will say yes. And I was just like, no, that sounds horrible. I really, really hate cold water. I don't want to do it. And she came back a couple times, kept saying it and asking the question. And I really think one day I just felt really defeated and was like, what the heck do I have to lose?
Yeah, I'll try
It
anything.
can't get
Mhm.
worse. So I'll just try it. And so, but I did it in secret because I was like, I've had enough wild ideas. I don't really feel like being judged for this one. So I'm just gonna
It's
secretly buy this online. I bought my little horse trough and then I had to go get it home. I had to carry it in the backyard. And when I when I did that, I literally
like, of
just
all the things to be in the closet about, it's gonna be
totally
this
I know.
was it.
Of all the other wild things I do, I was like, but not the horse trough. Let's not let that one out of the bag.
It's funny, though, how much we fear the things that
Oh,
can help
yeah.
us the most,
Totally, totally. And
We fear alignment because
yeah,
it's so unfamiliar.
yep. And I always fear, like, saying that something's gonna work before I've tried it. So I'm like, I just don't
Yeah,
wanna
me
say,
too.
like, "This is the thing," and then be like, "Oh, just kidding, like, it didn't do anything." So, I didn't even tell my husband because I was like, he's gonna have opinions, and I don't want his opinions right now." I bought the horse trough, I brought it in the backyard, I filled it with hose water, and I turned on a song, and I was like, "Okay, if I make it for the song, great." And, in
Wow!
hindsight, the water wasn't that cold. It wasn't insanely cold, because it was from the hose,
But, like, in
and
a whole song.
yeah,
That
and
is
then
I
I
that's
and then I
aggressive.
actually made it for longer. So I was like, "Okay, I actually feel good. I'm gonna listen to another one, I guess." And so I stayed in, I got out, and I literally had a smile on my face, and I was like, "I have not felt like this. This is wild." And so it was just that was the moment where I was like, I just want more people to know this exists. I just want more people to be able to do this because it get no different than me. I have this picture in my head of what cold immersion looks like, and it's not
Mhm.
appealing. I don't want to sit in ice around me and all of that. Like,
Right.
that sounds awful. So, but the reality is how I felt those few minutes later, like, I would do anything for that. That was great. So, I would then just sit in this silly little horse trough, and I would dream up how I could get specifically more women at the time into cold water because I think there's more resistance there in general. I can only speak to my own story, but that feels right. And so, I would dream up what it would look like, what it would feel like, how I could do it different and better. And 2.5 years later, we have the chill pod.
Listen, and this chill pod, listeners, get over to the website because seriously, this thing is delicious looking. I am not even kidding you. I mean,
It
it
is
is
very
stunning.
pretty.
It's stunning. It like
Thank you.
oozes just
Thank you.
beauty. Um, I tried cold plunge a number of years ago.
Yeah.
There are so many questions I have for you.
Yeah.
So, um, I understand. I understand its impact on inflammation and
Mhm.
inflammation throughout the entire body. I also understand how it's much more approachable for men. It
Yeah.
seems very masculine in
Yes.
nature because
Yes.
it's a shock to your
Mhm.
body, and men are more accustomed to the shock, whereas
Mhm.
women are not.
Yeah.
So I was in the Black Forest in Germany, and we were walking on these trails, and we saw a natural spring cold plunge,
Mm.
and there were stairs that led down into it, and then you walked, and then you were meant to walk across and
Yeah.
or swim across and then
Yeah.
climb out the other stairs. My daughter did it, she was fine. Our son did it, he was shivering. My husband did it, and he was just, like, completely invigorated. I went in, and I'm
Mhm.
not even kidding you, I went in and I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack,
Really?
and I had to be pulled out.
Oh, no.
Now here's what's really curious to me, because I'm still, like, pro cold plunge,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta get back out because I know from childhood, jumping into freezing cold water to swim for practice felt
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
my body never felt any better. And
Yep.
somehow, even as a kid, I was like, "This just feels good. This feels right." So what's interesting to me is the biology behind it,
Uh-huh.
because it doesn't escape me that I got down as far as my solar plexus. So
Mm.
we can approach this from the chakras, or we can approach it from the physiology of it. I'm also well aware that that's when the vagus nerve hits the stomach.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when my stomach got really cold, it squeezed, which automatically,
Sure.
right, creates the
Goes up.
entire chest cavity to squeeze. I don't have any heart problems. I have no
Yeah.
circulation problems. Have no health issues whatsoever. It literally triggered a panic attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I think in my brain, and from working with a lot of clients, a lot of whom were women,
Mhm.
when you start, tapping into that solar plexus area, into that stomach, into the vagus nerve,
Mhm.
it releases so much stored
Yeah.
trauma,
Yeah.
anxiety, stress that
Totally.
that it just sort of manifests as panic,
Yeah. Yeah.
which then, of course, squeezes at the base of the skull, and you know, there's a whole chain reaction that happens.
Mhm. Mhm.
However, our daughter last year started working for, a cold plunge
Oh,
locally,
nice.
and she said to me, "Mom, do you remember? Do you remember what happened in the Black Forest?" And I said, "Yeah, you're damn right I do." And she goes, "Okay, so I'm gonna help you.
Mm.
You have to graduate, Mom, into the temperatures."
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is where I think the genius of the chill pod is. You legit get to set the temperature on
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
to regulate your body, to ease your way into it.
Yep.
Um, Please, can you answer all my questions? One, if you want to approach it from the spiritual aspect of it, please
Yeah.
do. I find that to be fascinating.
Yeah.
If you can get into the physiolo physiolo physiology of it, that would be awesome.
Mhm.
And then what prompted you to have a graduated temperature for
Mm,
this
yeah.
because all we've ever known is the ice bath.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
it, the all
Mhm.
or nothing.
Totally. Well, I'll go in reverse order on your questions because that I think
You're
that
like, "I'll
one's
take the easy first."
exactly. Well, I will say from like a basic just like living perspective, what I learned really quickly with the trough was it became a full-time job to try and regulate the temperature of it. So it is shocking how much time and energy it takes to I would take literally my kids' storage bins and I would fill them with water and then I'd have to like dump these big bucks like blocks of ice in the water and try
Yeah.
and get it to what I wanted it to be. It just took a lot of time and it was hard to do. And the more this is kind of like the approach that I like to take to the cold plunging is like it's a practice just like anything else where your body knows what it needs. And I think a lot of the power in the practice is listening to your own inner compass, to your own, intuition and dialogue and having that conversation in the water. You were right to get out. If that was too much for you at that time, or someone was able to help you out, that what maybe if you'd been able to tune into that a little bit sooner, you'd be like, nope, actually, I should have gotten out before then. Right.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Like
So,
thighs, I should have climbed out at
yeah,
thighs instead of pushed
exactly.
through. Yeah.
And I think that that's why I feel like this is such a transformative practice is we take this one little experience where we're really tuning in, we're tuning out everything else, we're tuning into ourselves and what our body needs. And that's giving us that practice to do it in all these other areas of our lives. And that's
Yeah.
what I think people don't talk about enough because it is a challenging experience. Even if you're used
Mhm.
to it and you do it a lot, it's never made easier. It's just not. And it's never made more desirable. It's never something that I'm like, "Oh, super, I get to go get out there today." Like, no, but I know what it is on the other side of
You're like,
it.
"Fuck, I
And
gotta get out there."
totally. No, I every morning I'm like, maybe not today." I don't need to. I'm fine. So always, but I think what I really love in so basically what it has, we have the pod that's the beautiful piece and then that has the chiller attached to it and that's what keeps it cold and clean. But the
Mm.
beauty of it is you can figure out what that right temperature is for you, which is very hard to do when you're doing it in like blocks of ice.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would always say for people, your daughter was very smart in doing this. Like, I always say start at the smallest bit you can do. And
Yeah.
then that is going to be so much more impactful for realizing you can do it and building this practice and this habit as opposed to going to the other extreme and being
Mhm.
like, too much, that was scary. I can't do that and never returning back. And so I think we get these images just, in on social media or wherever it is of like it has to be this extreme experience of you've carved out ice and you're sitting in it and
Yeah.
all of that. And I am all for saying that is not it. Like, it is not a badge of honor to say that you stayed in whatever temperature it was for whatever time it was. It's honoring your body and realizing, okay, 2 minutes was great today, but it's one tomorrow. And, I'm going to do what I can. And I'm going to know when my body's telling me, nope, we're good. We've done this. We're out. And so I think, to your question on like the spiritual element, I think that is a lot of the spiritual element. I think that is one of my quietest places. So
Mm.
it happens to be outside. It happens to be that I can like close my eyes, I turn on some music that I like, and then I really just have that moment of coming to myself, which I do liken it to meditation. It feels that way to me where I have a real connection to myself and I feel like I honestly like open myself up to possibilities there that then I carry into the rest of my day. And from a body perspective, it comes down to the nervous system. In
Mm.
my mind, like the simplest way I can think of, or like I always like a visual, I imagine that you're flicking a light switch. And so what you're doing is you're dipping yourself into this water and it is putting you in fight or flight. It's adding stress to your body,
Mhm.
but it's very fast. And you might be in there for 30 seconds, 3 breaths, and then you get back out. But what you've done is tell your body, okay, We can flush all that we don't need out. We can let all that go, and then we're going to come back out and be kind of a renewed version of ourselves. And so
And
I
it's
think that
safe.
it is.
Yeah.
It's the biggest piece is just being able to flush out. You said it earlier, like we absorb so much around us and 99% of it we have no idea it's even happening. We need
Right.
something to flick that switch and be like, "No, thank you. That can go away. I can leave that behind and I can go and do something different now." And that ability to kind of do that difficult thing to put yourself in an undesirable situation, know you can do it, know you can come back out stronger. That transcends to everything else in your life. It
For
just
sure.
does.
For sure. Have you noticed a difference in anxiety, in your anxiety or stress?
Oh, without question. Without question. When so I don't plunge every day. I'm not like regimented that way. I aim for I heard someone say one time 11 minutes a week, and I kind of subscribe to that of just like overall I'd
That is
love to make
so doable.
so doable. It is when you're like, this is not
Yeah,
working out 4 hours a week. This is 11
no.
minutes.
Yes, I can maybe do that. I think I could do
Exactly.
that.
And I think it's just it again, it honors your own body where maybe one person's like, hey, I'm gonna knock out 5.5 minutes twice. That's perfect for me. I like to do small doses a
For
few
sure.
times. And so I totally forgot where I was going with that.
Anxiety. Sorry, I got
Well, the
excited.
anxiety, there you go. Well, I can definitely tell where the days when I do plunge versus when I don't. There's still I
Oh,
think there's power in not doing it because I do think that stress adds up, and for me, I do need to make sure that I have a balance of dipping into that and not, but I can tell that I'm always a little more anxious when I don't do it. For whatever reason, I usually don't do it on the weekends. It's kinda like my reset, like, just kinda let go of those things that I hold on to during the week,
that's
but I'm
busy
always a
mom
little
time
more
too.
anxious. What's that?
That's busy mom time too.
It is. It is peak mom time, I agree. So, I think that's probably part of it, is like, you know what? Sleeping in sounds better, and I'm gonna sleep in a little bit, and I'm just not gonna
Yes.
do that.
Now, has your daughter tried it?
Yes. So she has tried it, and it's very interesting. You having a daughter, perhaps you can relate to this. So my husband does believe in it now. He was questioning in the beginning, but he loves it now. And he can really
There's so much that I tell my husband, just do it. Don't ask why. I'm just going to ask you to just do it. Just do it.
right.
And he's like, I mean, all right.
That's where we've gotten to.
Yeah, good on them.
There's still always but why? Or I don't know. That seems odd. I'm like, it's
Don't ask me
fine.
why, just do it.
No, just try it. So he's a big believer. And it's interesting because he can tell my daughter, like, oh gosh, you feel like you're holding on to a lot right now. Do you want to go hop in there and come back out?
Ooh.
And she'll totally do it. She'll be like, great. No, good idea. I'll do that. But if I do it, it's always like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I honor that. I give her that because I think there's other things that I try and like instill in her to try, or there's different ways for us to work through that. And I love when he can come in and be like, why don't you try that? And every time she's like,
Absolutely.
oh my gosh, I feel so much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Listen, you give him the win, you give her a win.
exactly.
Let
Nope,
them have whatever they need to have. Yes,
exactly. Yep.
that was our daughter is 25.
Yeah.
So we did the same thing.
Yeah.
She and my husband, they have this beautiful, wonderful relationship that is totally separate from me.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
No.
How long so I have all these questions now. How
Go
long
for
does
it.
it take to cool the water down?
So with the chiller, it keeps it cold and clean like indefinitely as long as you have it plugged in. And so as
So
just
it's
hard
always ready.
it's always ready.
I
And
love
then
that.
I don't know if you know it can also go hot. So you
Okay, so
could
that was mine. Yes, I was going there. I was going there.
So
I
in
was.
theory, what like on a cold, clear day like today, I would love to cold plunge in the morning and then change it to hot for the evening, which you can totally do. So when you fill it with hose water, which is all it takes, you just fill it with the hose water. So depending on the time of year, it might take an hour or two to get down to temperature. And then to go from cold to hot takes about 3 hours.
That's
So
not bad at all.
no, it's not bad at all. It happens pretty fast, and, so you can very easily, like, accommodate everybody's wishes in there too.
Mhm.
I've had intentions of playing around with it because I like one temperature, my husband likes another one, so I'm like, "I should just change it for him," but I never do it, so
Listen, it's enough that you designed it, created
I
it, built it. It's
know!
there. I feel like that's enough.
I know, I feel like he should learn how to just change the temperature.
And it doesn't look that tough. It
No,
really,
it's really not.
it
It's really
really
quite
doesn't.
easy.
It's like ding, 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 not a
Exactly.
problem.
Exactly.
Um, oh, I had another question. What was it? It just oh, yes. Keeping it clean.
Yeah, yeah,
Talk to me about that because I do have a slight obsession with clean water and
yeah.
filtration and all of these things.
Yeah, totally, as you should. So it's got a couple of different layers of ways that it gets clean. So it has a filter, so that's going to grab all of the actual debris that would be in there, which you'd be surprised. So we have ours outside. It can go outside or inside, but if it's outside, you're always going to track a little bit of stuff
For
in there,
sure.
right? So that'll gather up all of the debris that's in there, which again, depending on time of year, you have more or less. And then it also has ozone filtration, so that kills the bacteria. I know, I know. Because what we don't realize, or
I'm
I
such a
didn't long
nerd. I love that.
I love that. Usually people, like, zone out when I start talking
Oh,
about that.
I'm like, I'm salivating. Keep talking.
Oh, yeah, the ozone is great because what I didn't realize when I got into it is, like, I always thought cold water bacteria can't grow in there. Not true. Not true.
Not
S
true.
Not true. So, you definitely have to make sure that you have those things in place, or, like, if you have a trough like I used to have, zero judgment, but make sure mine was black at the time, and there were times where I was like, my feet are not exactly visible to me the way I would like them to be." So, think
Something slimy, and I'm not sure
I'm
what.
not loving it. So those were all things that came into that process of like, okay, I want to make this for the human body, and I want to make sure that it is literally like every care is done for you, because what do we love more than something to be beautiful and to just everything's thought of. It can all be done for you. You can set it and forget it, and that is like my love language. So I was like, how do I
Oh,
make that?
you just literally spoke so much of my love language. So much. And the cherry on top is set it and forget it. Like
I
that.
know, right? I
That makes me
know.
so happy.
Me too. Because it's always like an energy expenditure to have to
Yeah,
remember to do these things, and I realize that more and more. I mean, it's like putting something on a subscription now. I'm like, "How did I not do this before?" Like, this is so lovely to
right.
not have to, like, remember to do something. So, yeah, same there. And then you'll probably love this too, which I don't know if you can tell from the pictures or not. Some you can tell better than others, but, it actually has a built-in seat. So that was a big part of what I wanted, was it to actually hold your body, because I know. I thought you'd like that.
So, listeners, in case you don't even like, if you haven't pressed pause and gone to chillpod.com, it's this beautiful like egg shape. And I was wondering, do
Yeah.
you climb down into it and just stand there, or is there a little seat that you can sit on?
Yeah.
There Go ahead, because it sounds to me like all of this, even from the shape of it being an egg, it
Mhm.
literally looks like an egg. I'm assuming that all of this was intentional.
It was. Yes. All
Oh,
of this was intentional. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I I had all these ideas of how I wanted it to be. I wanted your 5 senses engaged. I wanted your body held. I wanted it to be beautiful, all of these things. And then I learned that there is something called a product designer that can actually
They're like, okay, so that can't happen.
Right. Oh my gosh, I don't have to design it? Like, there's people who do this for a living? So, I had no idea. But they took all of my many ideas, and the seat was a big piece of it. Actually, I'm sitting like that right now, so I love to sit crisscross, kind of like you'd
Mhm.
be in a yoga class or something. And I was like, "I wanna be able to do that." I hate that I'm, like, leaning back in the trough and it's uncomfortable, or a
And
typical
you get a
upright.
ridge. Yep.
No,
Right.
so uncomfortable. And then usually if they're upright, you're just literally standing and or
So
squatting in a
boring.
barrel, and it
Yes.
is not okay. So I wanted it to be comfortable and cozy. So we literally built a club chair
Ah,
into the pod. So it has like armrests. You can rest your arms on there if you're in the warm, or you've got enough space that you can literally like sit cross-legged and be totally comfortable.
oh my God. I'm just I look at the pictures and so I am all about the 5 senses
Yeah,
and 6 senses, trying to get as many of our senses involved in an
totally.
experience as possible
Me too.
because I think that that maximizes your time. And I'm
100%.
like I love efficiency and I love it the most in terms of healing. So
100%.
like if you can incorporate all of that,
Yeah.
that makes me so, so very happy. I
I
actually
completely
look at
agree.
the pictures and I wonder what it feels like
Mhm. Mhm.
and what is the texture of the
Yeah.
exterior.
Yeah.
So answer that for me because
Yeah,
to
for
me,
sure.
I'm like, I feel like that is soft cashmere. So what does it
Oh,
actually
yeah.
feel like?
Kind of less furry than a cashmere would be, but it's like it's very
Like
sleek. That would be.
suede or something
Yeah.
is like what I had in my head.
Okay. That would be a fun addition at
I
some
mean,
point,
wouldn't
but
it? I'm just saying.
except suede doesn't love water, so there's
No,
that.
it hates it, but if we could somehow
Somehow. I'm all for the textures too. We did, in the bottom, like where your feet would be, and then also on the armrests, we did do little bumps of reflexology so that you could have that because I wanted something
Mhm.
texturally. On the outside, it's very sleek, so it's just very, it's very smooth. I'm trying to think of almost kind of ceramic. That would be a good description.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fabulous.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
and it's really easy. You've got the little steps. So sometimes people look at it and they're like, "I can't get in there. I won't be able to get my leg over and get in there." And we have tried so many shapes and sizes, and it is remarkable. Like the stair ends here, and then the seat inside is the same level. So you just go right over and you
And
stand on
there
the
is
seat
no
and you get in.
adjustment.
Yep, yep.
Oh
So
my god.
it's easy
Yeah,
peasy.
I was wondering about the setup and the stairs. What are the
Yeah.
stairs made out of?
They look like they're like an acrylic. So they're a
Okay.
super thick they're actually really heavy. They're shockingly heavy, so they're very sturdy. So I have the prototype at my house right now, but the final version will actually have like a built-in stone bath mat so that you have something to step on there and it'll like take your water war away for you.
Really start crying. It
Oh,
just is
my
so
favorite.
wonderful. That is wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, we
Holy
really
cow.
tried to think of everything because, there are a lot of cold plunges out there. There's tons of things that people can choose from, and it was like but none of them are a luxury experience. They're just
Exactly.
not. And even if they're really nice, they're well made, they're expensive, all of these things, they're not a showpiece in your home. And I wanted it to be a showpiece in your home where you could put it proudly in any room and you're like, this is going to up level the space and make it feel amazing. And I'm going to proudly tell like why I love this.
I think you hit the mark on
Thank you.
all of that. I'm not even kidding you.
Thank
And
you.
the only reason why we don't own one is because we are moving internationally. And
Really?
yes, yes, we're moving to Ireland.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the thing. I am Japanese and Irish, and in the
Uh-huh.
Japanese culture, you take
Yeah.
a soak every single night. Like
Mhm.
that is just part of
Yeah.
like wash the day away.
Yeah.
So I very much look forward to having Chill Pod,
Yeah.
and my husband was actually like, "Make sure you ask does she or will she ship internationally?
We'll find a way. We'll definitely do that.
And
Let's
he
make sure
said,
that arrives before you.
even if we have to become some sort of import exporter, can we get this thing internationally?
I'm thinking the only thing is, like, you're gonna have to have the power converter. You're gonna have to have
And yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, but
That's the only
even
thing.
that,
We
I
don't
think
have
it's all
that on there
manageable.
yet. Right now, they're just, US power sources, but other
So, all
than that,
right,
you'll
so
be
there you go.
fine.
I'm planting the seed. Can we
I
get
love
something
it.
European or
No, we will definitely, we have a very fun I can't share it yet, but we will have a very fun European model at some point, which you will also equally love. So,
So
yeah.
my dream is I was a gyrotonic instructor and in gyrotonic they have these machines that are just stunning. They're
Mm,
stunning. They are meant to support you. They're beautiful and they help you exercise.
yeah,
So when you look at them, they were deliberately created to be artwork in your
yeah,
room.
yeah,
And so that is part of my brain
yes.
is that I'm much more motivated if something's beautiful,
Mhm,
right? If something's easy.
mhm.
The tendency of me following through is absolutely going to be 100% if it's easy, if you
Yep,
make it easy, right?
yep,
And I think that that can be said for anybody.
yeah,
Um, but to be able to walk into a room and have it be luxurious self-care,
yeah.
to see that pod, like, it's just the visual, I cannot wait.
Oh, I can't
I
wait for you
cannot
too.
wait.
Oh, I wish you weren't moving so soon because maybe we can get one into a business near you so you could at least, like, try it before you move, but we'll have to see what we can
I
do.
mean, and that would be lovely and wonderful and
Yeah.
beautiful and, completely unnecessary, but I would love it. I mean, that would be fantastic.
But you did really nail, like, at the very beginning, the very impetus of the idea was my awareness was, like, it needed to be beautiful because that does transcend a lot of resistance. If it is
Absolutely.
if that is calling to people, and I think that is regardless of gender. I do think women in specific, like, often, like, can gravitate to that a little bit more, but it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, think everyone loves beautiful things in their own way, and even if it is something that you're like, "Ah, I just don't know, like, I don't know if I like that. I don't wanna go in the cold," or whatever it is, but maybe you just want something beautiful, and then it ends up having all of this shift on your body, your mind,
Yeah.
everything. Like, what more could you hope for?
It's these little introductions
Mhm.
that help us level up,
Yeah.
and for those of you listeners who are spiritual in nature and you've ever heard of vibration, our vibrations are based on the frequency at which our human cell vibrates. Like that's where it all comes from.
Mhm.
And the faster they can vibrate and less encumbered, the healthier we are.
Mhm.
And that's where vibrancy comes from. And that's what you wind up seeing outside, out of your skin, out of your eyes,
Mhm.
and your general overall mood, right? It makes you happier and nicer.
Yeah.
And it begins with these small introductions to your nervous system, which is through your senses.
Mhm.
So to know that something like this has been created with such beautiful intention to incorporate all of the senses, to incorporate an experience,
Mhm.
I think it really does cross the line of doesn't matter what it costs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
Mhm.
here I am. I'm like, yeah, I really don't give a shit. I will ship this overseas. I will get a converter. Something has to happen.
Yep.
There's got to be an electrician who can rewire this shit. Like it
Totally.
has to happen. And but that's what you've done.
Yeah.
That's what you've
Thank you.
created. And it is just an absolute pleasure. An
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure to meet you and to learn
Um,
more and more about this. Um, oh my God, thank you.
oh my gosh, thank you. And went to the vibrational piece too. I can only say it, like, from my own experience, but I think that there is something that happens that transforms your vibration in the water too, differently than it
Absolutely.
does
It's
somewhere else,
100%.
right? I always kind of describe it as, like, it feels like a lightning bolt or like
Yep.
electricity that comes from my feet through my head every time, and even if I just stayed in for that, which happens in, like, 10 seconds, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm good. That like,
Yeah.
that's good, and I really think this whole practice has been, like, me just, raising that vibration and then finding people that match with it, you know? There are a lot of people in the world that want exactly what we're talking about.
The experience, that
Yes.
up-leveling, that
Yes.
experience. No, you're absolutely correct. Water is I mean, hello, it's why we can't throw a toaster in with the tub, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It it conducts nothing conducts electricity better than water,
Yep.
and we are mostly water. So,
Yeah.
when you and this is why the water quality in the chill pod is so
Mhm.
important to me,
Yeah.
because when you're sitting in high vibrational water, which we could also talk about. I there's like a whole thing. You can put a charging plate in there. There's a brand called Nature's Design. I actually like
Ooh.
I drink and I use their glassware and their ceramics all the time.
Ooh.
It would be a really like really beautiful pairing.
Ooh, tell me more
Um
later. I'm very
I
curious
will.
now.
Oh, I will. But what it does is infuse the water
Got it.
with they have charging plates and you can
Yeah.
set the intention within the plate and it has the
Cool.
flower of life on it and from there the water gets charged.
Cool.
Um I use their glassware and ceramics because they've been designed to the Fibonacci theorem.
Mm.
They've used that algorithm to be able to
Yeah.
create all of their glassware and
Interesting.
right? And what
Yeah.
it does is heal the water molecule
Mhm.
in 3 minutes.
Okay.
So it takes it from and you can look at all the studies behind it and the
Yeah.
science behind it, but when you look at a water molecule after it comes out of, like, say, the hose,
Mhm.
it's very jagged, it's very
Okay.
ragged, and when you drink that or consume it or even sit in it, your
Mhm.
body has to work harder
Yep,
to
makes
get the
sense.
molecule to get softer, smoother,
Mhm.
so that it can be absorbed into the skin, into the organs, and move through the blood system.
Yeah.
But, I mean, imagine I'm just saying, imagine if you could somehow incorporate that,
Yeah.
the Fibonacci theory to all of this, which, when I think about it, they have, they have straws. I'm just thinking out loud now, but they
Yeah.
have straws. And what I've used the straws for, people use them for drinking and,
Mhm.
drink your smoothie through them or whatever.
Mhm.
But the thing is, you could have a metal glass with your smoothie in it and then take the straw and put it in there. And it still has the same
It
effect
does the
because
same
that
thing.
which touches it, yeah,
Gotcha.
it starts to
Yeah.
heal the molecule. It just takes a little longer. But I use those straws and I put them in my plants and it keeps them
Oh,
all
sure.
alive for me, which is fabulous.
Really?
But I wonder if there's something that could be done
Uh-huh.
if it were something, I don't know, like a straw that just
Mhm.
sat, like, in a little holder on the side
Totally.
and all the water that gets to touch it because once a molecule heals, that, um, it gets the next one to heal and the next one and the next one. It's
Mm.
a domino
Mhm.
effect.
Mhm.
Just thinking out loud here.
That
How do we make it even better?
yeah, let me make it even better. Oh my gosh, I love that. I am when
Yeah.
you were saying the straw, I imagine, like, can you have that as part of your hose that, like, fills it,
That
passes through there?
wouldn't that be beautiful,
Yeah.
stunning? Holy shit, right? That would be amazing.
Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. That or, like, the plate underneath it. It has, like, a base, and it would be cool if the base was, like, also just vibrating up.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm always one for the wild and
I know,
crazy
I'm
idea,
like,
why
"What
not?
else? What else? Can we just layer more and more on there?" I it's yeah, that could be absolutely amazing.
Totally. Well, it's those things that, like, people I think, you know, people can say that it's like this fad or something like that, but it's like all of these are just longevity tools that we're adding,
Exactly.
and I am always one for how can you stack as many things as possible at one point in
Amen.
time? And the more that you've done that, then you're like, you know, then you're golden.
Yeah, efficient.
Mhm. Exactly.
Make it easy, make it fast. I
Yep.
love everything about that. Well, I'll send you links to Nature's
Ooh, do will
Design.
you?
Yeah, I will.
Yes.
It was created, I wanna say it was created, it was either Germany or Switzerland.
Okay.
It's one of the Austrian
Mhm.
cultures, those Germanic cultures,
Yeah.
and, Norway maybe, I don't know, somewhere. And I know that there are distributors here in the US.
Cool.
I used to be one, but
Yeah.
when I closed my studio, I
Mm,
just I just use the glassware now all the time. But I
yeah.
think that would be very, very cool.
I love
Especially
that.
if you could maybe partner with the designers
Exactly.
over there.
Yep.
Shut up, right? Mm.
Mhm. I like all of this.
Let's see what we can make happen. Yay! There's your European market too. Lisa doesn't
Exactly.
have to get a converter. It's going to be available. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for spending time with me and for
Oh,
telling me all about this. I
it was
absolutely
my
love
pleasure.
it.
Thank you so much. Your, like, genuine interest and excitement about it is contagious, so thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. So everything, the website, Instagram, wherever people can find you, I'll have that in the show notes. But would
Perfect.
you like to tell them where they can
I'm
find
happy
you?
to. So, the website or the handle for anything is thechillpod.co. So you can go to chillpod.co online, or you can go to that on Instagram. And then if you want to follow like a little bit more of my story behind the scenes, what does real life as a founder look like? You can follow at KRIS Rice Wellness.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. I wish you
Oh,
the best of luck.
thank you.
God, I hope I'm on a mailing list. If I'm not, I'll get
I'll
over to
put
the
you on
website
there. You bet.
and join a mailing list because I need to stay on top of things. And
You
then
bet.
let me know. Let me know as
I
things
will.
develop for you. I would love to be able to promote you as much as I possibly can.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Be well. See you
Thank
next
you. You
time.
too.
Okay, that's it, listener. Before you go, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and set your notifications to never miss an episode. If you'd like even more with me, come on over to nagarelife.com. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, go on and share it. Share it with somebody that you think would enjoy it as well. All right, I'll see you next time.